accelerates down the freeway, weaving between other vehicles, passing everybody. An undercover siren wails, blue and red lights flicker in the back window. Exterior Reinhold Memorial Garden Gate, night. Hot rod muscle car slows and the siren quiets. Blue and red lights dim. The car pulls gently toward the driveway, parking in shadow. Mick exits the car and walks up the driveway. Exterior Reinhold Memorial Garden main house, night. Mick walks around the back of the main house and finds a basement door. Mick surveys his surroundings and breaks the padlock on the basement door. Mick enters the basement. Interior Reinhold Memorial Crematorium, night. Mick stands in the shadow and examines the basement. Exterior Reinhold Memorial Garden Gate, dawn. Mick, shaken, unlocks hot rod muscle car, climbs in, and drives off. Exterior freeway, dawn. Mick drives towards the river. Exterior river overpass, dawn. Mick smokes a cigarette and eyes sunrise on the river. He reaches into one of his coat pockets and retrieves a Mont Blanc pen inscribed with the word Rabobank. Mick examines the pen thoughtfully. Exterior freeway, dawn. Hot rod muscle car accelerates and takes an exit. Exterior downtown public library, dawn. Hot rod muscle car parks halfway in a spot and half on the sidewalk. Mick exits the car and approaches the library. The library is closed. Mick lights a cigarette. Interior downtown public library, entrance day. Mick enters the public library smoking a cigarette. He drops the cigarette and steps on it, stamping it out. Interior downtown public library, archives day. Mick speaks with an aged and decrepit archival librarian. Interior microfiche workspace day. Mick sits at a dim and dusty workstation scrolling through headlines. Sophia Reingold, battered wife. Rabobank embezzle scandal. Leibowitz Reingold love triangle. Triangled. Mayor Star Council Bedelia Conwood. Mayor Grisham Prego disaster. Sex assault at City Hall. Conwood resigns amid scrutiny. Memorial magnet. Reingold's waterfront legacy. Sergeant Clooney heads downtown task force. Minos Reingold's hot new club in the city. Interior microfiche workspace evening. Mick stands, wiping his brow. Interior downtown public library archives evening. Mick walks to a vending machine. He chooses an item and waits. Mick's phone beeps. Mick belches and heads to the bathroom. Interior downtown public library bathroom evening. Mick enters the bathroom. A homeless man shaves and bathes himself in the sink. Mick turns away out of disgust or respect. The man with a bandana over his face clubs Mick over the head. Interior downtown public library bathroom night. The head librarian nudges Mick with her foot. Mick's face is bruised and swelling.
Happy Wednesday.
Excuse me, sir. The library is closing. Well, we're closed.
Exterior downtown public library night. Hot rod muscle car has been torched and the windshield shattered. Mick coughs and dials his phone. Exterior freeway on-ramp night. Abraham's car accelerates onto the freeway. Interior Abraham's car night. Mick smokes out of the passenger window. Abraham lectures him.
You just can't get enough, can you? You're a fucking fiend for goddamn disaster.
Oh, and Warhol, Nathan's here now if you want him to be Abraham.
Oh, Nathan, you got the script?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What page?
30, bottom of 33 in the Google Doc.
It's 30. It's top of 32 if you're on Word.
Oh, fuck! I just.
Well, let's go back to the beginning of the Abraham scene then.
I had to
Just a
read
couple
so
lines.
much. Interior Abraham's car night. Mick smokes out the passenger window. Abraham lectures him.
I'm almost there.
Almost there.
Trying to figure it out. What was
Bottom of 33 if you're in the Google Doc.
bottom? Well, I just have it open on my fucking thing. Hold on. Page 33 doesn't have the page numbers. Why would
Then
it?
you're in the other one, which is page top 32.
Am I gonna have to just?
If you can't find the page number, look for 32.
There's no page numbers. It's just one big long page.
Just start throwing numbers at him. He'll find it.
Did you write this on a fucking receipt?
Scroll, actually.
In Google Doc, it has numbers now. I
It
don't
does.
know.
I'm on the bottom of
I
33.
don't know what you're looking at.
That's just
Maybe just refresh your page.
This isn't
I
a
have
page.
some-
This is the actual document. Hold on. Let me go to the Google Doc here.
interior. Abraham's car, night. Mick smokes out the passenger window. Abraham lectures him.
Oh, there we go. Sweet, sweet page numbers.
Mm.
God, you're fucking prolific, huh?
I wrote like 50 pages in a day and a half after we recorded the last one.
Damn,
Good
man.
luck,
So you had drugs, huh?
Like, how much pot did you?
No, I mean I always smoke a lot of pot, but it's better. The quickest I wrote before was a feature length script in 2 weeks, but this was like 80 pages in a week, I guess, or something.
So we're on page 33.
Bottom of 33.
Approximately, yeah.
Bottom of 33.
Interior. Abraham's car, night. Mick smokes out the window. Abraham lectures him.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, beer.
Got it. Abraham lectures him.
Yeah, that's where we are. You're Abraham.
Wait, I am?
Yeah.
I was Mick last time.
That's
I know
true.
last time, but
You got recasted,
you gotta
punk.
recast.
Late in the room.
Okay, go ahead.
You just can't get enough, Kenny. You're a fucking fiend for goddamn disaster.
Hey,
Abraham stares.
I'm not
Mick down.
losing my job for you. You know that.
I think I'm on to something.
You look like you're onto something, and I'm only letting you smoke in here because you smell worse than that fucking cigarette. Matter of fact, take this. Looks like you need to wake up.
Abraham searches around the car, finds a can of Red Bull, and hands it to Mick. Mick winces, cracks the can open, and sips.
I don't want to tell you this. I shouldn't tell you this, but goddamn it. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I don't want you to do the right thing. I'm sorry. I want you to do the right thing, but you won't. Fuck, Mick. Fuck. Shit. If you're taking shots at the mayor and oversleeping in the task force jurisdiction, Clooney isn't anyone to fool with either.
So don't tell me.
Abraham stares Mick down, simultaneously watching the road.
Fuck you. You're a real asshole. You know that? You think you're the only good cop in this world?
What world is that?
Jesus Christ, Mick, listen. There's a briefcase. From what I hear in evidence lockup downtown, it came in a few weeks ago, and the mayor's all hot and bothered, I'm told. So I haven't seen it. It has a monogram.
So, well, what's the monogram? Hey, Abraham, tell me what it is.
HCB.
Mick sips the can of Red Bull. He spits out the window and throws the can to the side of the road.
I would have drank that.
Mick pulls a can of beer from his coat pocket, cracks the can and takes a sip, then offers it to Abraham, who shakes his head, giving Mick a dirty look, then takes the can, sips the beer, and gives the can back to Mick and laughs.
Let me tell you what I think I know. And then I need your help. Abe.
Look, when I transferred here, it wasn't easy for me either. You got to get a place, man. Been living like an animal. You didn't leave to get away from the bullshit and get into honest work. Shit, man. Can't you just bust the drug dealers and not get cops and politicians?
It seems like the same thing. This whole thing is a landfill.
Well, why don't you just lay it on me?
I'm looking into this dentist, Leibowitz. He operates by Midtown, and supposedly he moves in pretty schmancy circles. Actually,
Mick pulls out his phone and dials.
Nancy, can you do something for me? Right now. Okay, I'll text you.
Mick fumbles with his phone while he speaks.
I want to look into him. This missing person, Bedelia Conwood, who used to work at City Hall. I think this mugger from my subway bust. What if he didn't get away? Maybe it wasn't a hit on Beauregard, man. Instead, what if it was a snitch? What if it was a snatch and grab gone wrong? Our mugger gets spooked, doesn't see the truck, or he could have tripped. Maybe pushed? If Heathcliff was tied to ring holds, he could have been overseeing a sizable amount of liquid assets. I mean...
What in the fresh hell does this have to do with me?
Mick hands the beer can to Abraham, pulls another from his coat pocket, and cracks it open. Exterior 12th Precinct Station night. Abraham's car pulls up. Mick exits the car, walks around to the front, and whispers conspiratorially to Abraham through the driver's side window. Interior 12th Precinct Station front desk night. Mick approaches the desk, flashing a smile.
Is the auto guy in?
Exterior 12th Precinct Station night. Abraham sits in his car outside the station. A busted clunker lurches out from the driveway. Mick rolls down the driver's side window and gestures to Abraham.
I'll see you there.
Busted clunker weaves off down the street. Abraham slowly pulls off and drives into the darkness in the opposite direction. Exterior Club Minotaur night. A crowd flows from sidewalk onto the street in front of an absolutely packed Club Minotaur. Busted clunker pulls up at discreet distance and parks by a large homeless encampment. Interior busted clunker night. Mick stares at the club crowd for a long time. He sips a can of beer. Mick's phone beeps. He fumbles for his phone and spills the beer all over himself and the car. Mick throws the beer out the driver's side window.
Christ.
Exterior Club Minotaur night. Busted clunker revs to life and jerkily pulls out, making its way around the corner. Exterior downtown police station headquarters night. Busted clunker pulls up and parks in front of a fire hydrant. Mick opens the door, exits the car, and closes the door. Mick's clothing is stained, sticking to his body. Mick's phone rings.
Yes? Okay. We have to get those records. Nancy, all right, it's a problem. Try to look around and see if you can find a supply closet. Good. That's great. Fine. So this is what we're going to do. I need you to pull the fire alarm.
Mick walks around the corner, still on the phone. Exterior downtown police headquarters loading area night. Mick walks down the driveway. Interior downtown police headquarters locker room night. Mick walks into the locker room, stripping off his clothes and tossing them into the wet counter by a leaky faucet. Interior downtown police headquarters bathing area night. Mick showers luxuriously.
Nice. How do you get used to this?
Interior downtown police headquarters locker room night. Mick exits the bathing area, lifts a towel from the floor, and dries off. The dressing area is empty. We hear sounds from the shower. Mick sees a rumpled police uniform hanging from one locker. He smiles. Putting on the uniform includes a flashy security card with a metallic strip and barcode. Mick walks up a flight of stairs. Interior downtown PD HQ stairwell night. Abraham stands in the stairwell with two paper bags of differing sizes.
Look, just try not to bump into Clooney, okay? And don't steal anything unless you absolutely have to. I have no idea you were here. No clue. And you have to return that uniform quick. Okay, I brought you some clothes. No promise they'll fit either.
Abraham hands Mick the larger bag. Mick glances inside, then stashes it in the stairwell behind a trash can.
All you have to do is disrupt the local CPU until it switches to, I'm assuming, a remote mainframe. That should give us enough time.
I'm sorry, you're assuming?
I looked it up. The library is an amazing place, although it can be dangerous.
If this plan fails, I'll show you dangerous.
Abraham flashes his service weapon and a cold stare, then pulls a can of soda from the small bag and cracks it open. Interior downtown PD HQ security and surveillance night. Abraham carries the can of soda and a small paper bag into a surveillance area full of monitors and expensive-looking equipment. A bored-looking guard studies the monitors.
Charlie, you want my extra sandwich?
Sure. What are you doing here?
Abraham shrugs, tries to hand over the paper bag, and fumbles the soda, spilling it onto the main CPU.
Fuck.
Interior downtown PD HQ evidence lockup night. Mick approaches a heavy-set guard and offers him a cigarette.
Jake said you needed a cigarette break or something.
Jake who?
Never mind. Guess you meant someone else. No concern of mine.
Mick turns slowly and begins to walk away.
Wait. Actually, I mean, if you don't mind.
Mick turns back and offers the cigarette. Heavy-set guard takes it.
Thank you.
You might as well get some coffee while you're at it.
Heavy-set guard nods and walks out the door. Nick glances around, then uses the flashy security card to enter the electromagnetically locked evidence room. Interior electromagnetically locked evidence room night. Mick enters, the door locks behind him. Mick tries the handle to no avail. Mick uses the flashy security card to unlock the door, opens it, and peers outside. Mick closes the door and turns to examine the locked evidence room. Interior downtown PD HQ security and surveillance night. Abraham pulls napkin from paper bag and wipes down the equipment and the bored-looking guard he has spilled soda upon.
Shit, man. I'm sorry. I haven't slept. Sandwich is real good, though. Did I break it?
Bored-looking guard gives Abraham an incredulous look.
No, it's rebooting. More than I can say for my shirt.
Abraham pulls a $100 bill from his wallet.
New shirt?
Interior downtown PD HQ evidence lockup room night. Mick exits the electromagnetically locked evidence room, closing the door behind him. The room is empty. Mick scrolls through the newest photographs on his phone, images of the monogrammed briefcase and myriad photos of its content. The heavy-set guard enters. Mick puts the phone away.
All good?
If I can ever pay you back.
I'll think of something.
Mick walks out of the room. Interior downtown PD HQ locker room night. Mick carries a paper bag into the locker room and hastily removes the uniform, hanging it back on a different place where he found it. Mick dresses in clothing from the large paper bag, leaving the bag behind. Mick's outfit is ill-fitting and disheveled. Mick holds his hands as if in prayer.
Thank you.
Mick walks out of the room. Exterior downtown PD HQ dawn. A tow truck driver is loading the busted clunker onto its truck bed. Abraham approaches the corner where Mick's parked the busted clunker. Mick rounds the corner from the other side of the block. Both men observe the tow truck driver.
You owe me $100.
Mick approaches the tow truck driver.
Whoa, hold on, buddy. I'm a cop. That's mine.
Abraham walks up slowly, then men flash their badges.
No bueno.
Exterior freeway dawn. Busted clunker heaves and drags along the freeway. Exterior suburban condo dawn. Busted clunker pulls into one of many available parking spaces in a brand new, partially under construction townhouse complex. Interior busted clunker dawn. Mick falls asleep with a lit cigarette in his mouth. Interior busted clunker day. Mick wakes and checks the time. Last night's cigarette has left burn holes in the Mick's borrowed clothing. Mick climbs out of the car and walks towards a sign reading, "Open House, Families Welcome." Interior empty suburban condo day. A realtor stands in the waiting room, or stands waiting through the open door of an unfurnished condominium, so patiently that she must be faking. Mick crosses the threshold.
Sorry I'm late.
Exterior club Minotaur day. Busted clunker pulls up directly outside the club by a parking meter. Interior busted clunker day. Mick checks the time, then leans on the busted clunker's horn. Mick continues to push the horn, varying the beeps to approximate a musical tune. The horn is surprisingly loud. Various shifty-looking vagrants begin to congregate at a safe distance across the street. The horn sound seems to interrupt the drug deal. A police car driving by slows to stare at the busted clunker. A long moment passes. Club Minotaur's side entrance opens squeakily. Clarence appears in the doorway.
Detective, of course. How kind of you to join us. Won't you come in?
Interior Club Minotaur Day. Clarence pours a drink at the bar.
Perhaps I was unable to answer all of your questions the other day.
Clarence offers Mick a drink. Mick accepts.
When was the last time you saw Clara O'Donnell?
Clara O'Donnell.
She was working on staff at your crematorium before she died. You must have known her.
Certainly, although Reingold Memorial Gardens is in no way mine.
Semantics. When did you see her last? Alive.
Let me think. Would you like another?
Would answer the question.
Perhaps I'm not the one you ought to ask, Detective. You see, Mick.
You seem nervous.
Actually, I am. It brings me no joy to say.
Where's Minos? Why did the crematorium close?
We had a break-in. Minos is away on business with Sophia.
The business of avoiding jail.
But I wanted to tell you.
Mick lights a cigarette.
Clara quarreled with her boyfriend just before her unfortunate disappearance. I happened upon them. It might have been Tuesday the 3rd. They were on a date and seemed upset. Herbert spoke of it also before. When did she die?
Mick stares, puts his cigarette out on the bar, and drinks.
That's what I'm trying to figure.
This bar was honed from ancient redwood. It's incredibly expensive.
Shame. I better go.
Exterior Club Minotaur Day. Mick leaves through the side door and approaches a huddle of people standing by the busted clunker.
Hey, watch it. Police property.
The crowd regards Mick menacingly. Mick unholsters his service weapon and fires a shot in the air. The crowd disperses. Mick holsters his service weapon, gets his phone out, and sends a text. Interior Daisy's Diner Day. Mick slouches in front of a plate of pancakes. A woman's purse sits on an empty chair. Abraham enters the cafe. Mick gestures over to him. Nancy steps out of the ladies' room, and 3 officers gather at Mick's table.
You ready to skip school? What do you have? It's on me.
Oh, they didn't fire me yet.
Fire you?
Never mind. He's joking.
Mick lights a cigarette. A kind-eyed waitress sighs. Mick.
Just a halfie.
You rascal.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Why am I here?
Porio? Poirot?
Perot.
Bro, here. Thinks he has some kind of plan.
It's actually his plan.
No, No, he's...
All right. Do you want to look at the evidence first? Or do you want me to tell you the plan?
Kind-eyed waitress puts down 2 more plates of pancakes and unclutters the table.
Spit it out. I'm listening.
Nancy and Abraham reach for their plates.
This is for me. I'm kidding.
Kind-eyed waitress glances back at Mix as she walks away.
This fool found evidence of what looks like it could be either a network of human trafficking or infrastructure of identity fraud. I don't know what it is.
Kind-eyed waitress returns with butter, syrup, and another set of silverware.
It looks like this guy Clarence has been some kind of bagman for the Ringolds for about a quarter of a century since the old man landed on our shores. And before he died last year of medical complications. The article wasn't clear. What I need from you two, just clear my conscience on this.
Kind-eyed waitress returns with the check, touches Mick lightly, and goes to the back. Apart from our impromptu squad, the diner is empty.
Thanks, Daisy.
Daisy rolls her eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mick caught a video of this guy Clarence committing manslaughter at the hospital.
You have the tape?
On my phone, not clearly. But on the hospital cameras, it's definitely him.
So, get it from the hospital.
I just came from Mid-City Public, some sort of magnet. Their hard drives have been erased, so we have to take Mick's word for it.
I requested it when I was there. They said it would take weeks. Look.
Mick pulls out his phone, plays a video, and hands the phone to Nancy. Nancy watches the video.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
I saw. It was him. We can talk to the guard at the hospital. He saw. He'd never seen Clarence before. I'll get a photograph.
What's his last name?
I don't know. I honestly doubt the man's name is Clarence. There must be security camera footage by the Minotaur or outside Beauregard Law. Abe, I need you to find whatever family you can for this guy, Herbert. The gravedigger's head was smashed in at the Ringgold's place before they shut down their crematorium. And find out what happened to the body.
That's all?
Mick hesitates.
I need you to go back and check on that briefcase in the evidence lockup downtown. And let me know if the mayor comes around anytime, or his people. Nancy, find out who still works at Beauregard Law, please. And track down any known relatives of the dental assistant, Clara O'Donnell. She disappeared, as far as I can tell, the 3rd. Her body went into morgue last week on the 7th. I spoke with a boyfriend. Interview the dentist again. We'll see how much the story changes. Leibowitz. And if you go to the law office, don't let them know you're investigating. Tell them you're drawing up a will or putting together a trust. Have them check in your mortgage agreement, anything you want. Have fun. Undercover. And if either of you hear anything about Club Minotaur or where the hell the Ringgolds are, I'd be a bit curious.
Abraham plows into his pancakes.
Well, fuck, Mickey.
I'll be looking into whatever. I'll find out about that club in Minos. And who the fuck this Clarence guy is? Jesus. And I have to track down some kind of information on Bedelia Conwood's disappearance. Look, whatever you found at the dentist's office, just leave it in my car.
Mickey stands, throws car keys on the table, and walks toward the men's room. Abraham gives Nancy a sympathetic look.
Well,
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. There are photos on my phone. I have other things to do.
Nancy's phone rings.
well,
Abraham leaves the diner. Nancy answers her phone.
Yes. Reggie, cleaning up after Mick. No, it isn't my job.
Kind-eyed waitress ends and begins tidying up. Let me know if you need anything.
Okay. I will tell him that if I see him.
Excuse me. Kind-eyed waitress retreats to the back.
Mick, the captain wants to know why you felt the need to discharge your service weapon in Midtown this morning. But I don't want to fucking know. Asshole.
Nancy leaves the diner. Kind-eyed waitress gathers dishes, cups, and utensils. Mick comes out of the men's room and drops cash on the table. He waves at kind-eyed waitress, who approaches and gives him a gentle kiss. Mick embraces kind-eyed waitress as the kiss deepens. Oh. Kind-eyed waitress drops everything. The kiss continues. Exterior Club Minotaur Day. The busted clunker pulls up outside the curb. Mick steps out, bangs on the side door. After a long pause, Clarence opens the side door.
I apologize. I was forced to submit a report to your commissioner.
Mick snaps a flash photo in Clarence's face. Exterior Freeway Day. The busted clunker races as fast as it can go. Exterior Mid-City Public Hospital Day. The busted clunker pulls up to the ER driveway. Interior Mid-City Public Hospital Security Room Day. Mick stands with a uniformed security guard.
Where's the guy who was here the other day? I was around Tuesday or Wednesday night.
I heard he got food poisoning.
Exterior City Hall day. Mick walks up the steps of City Hall. He stops at the top to light a cigarette and survey his surroundings. Mick puts out his cigarette on a marble column and tosses it. Oh, there's more. Shit, sorry. Interior office of the mayor day. Mick stands in an empty office.
Does anyone work here?
Mick snoops around. He sees a desk with the little plate that reads personnel. Mick wanders over, taking photographs and notes. Interior City Hall information day. Mick speaks with an older woman.
Is there a phone book around here?
Exterior Gentle Ministries Therapy Office day. Sign outside reads Eudora Conwood Behavioral Sciences. Busted clunker pulls into the driveway of a home office. Exterior Eudora Conway's porch day. Mick stands speaking with Eudora Conwood.
May I ask you about your daughter?
Eudora Conwood leads Mick inside to her office. Exterior Eudora Conwood's porch evening. The door opens. Mick emerges from the office. Mick lights a cigarette and looks at his phone. Exterior Mercy College parking lot evening. Busted clunker pulls onto campus and finds parking space. Mick exits the car and looks around. He flags down a security student, a scruffy student, gestures and lights a cigarette.
Professor Gatwood, he's like over in King Psych Soc Public Policy, something like that, maybe, man. I don't know. Sorry.
Exterior King Building evening. Mick surveys the quadrangle. Interior Professor Gatwood's office evening. Mick knocks on the closed door, then pushes it open. Professor Gatwood sits at a desk working by lamplight.
Professor, I'm here about Minos Ringgold. Did you know him? I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Minos, yes, I know him well. His father promised us a nation last year to renovate the Reinhold building. I spoke with Minos today. We made an appointment to have dinner this weekend.
The Reingolds are in town.
I would assume so.
What was Minos' relationship with his parents?
Minos had a hard time. Growing up, money can't solve anything. You may have heard accusations of violence. Magnus was a harsh man. I personally believe those rumors were overblown by Sophia for the settlement. The court seemed quite sympathetic to her cause. I'm not sure Minos ever forgave either one of them. Magnus for his temper and for losing. Sophia for her rashness and the drinking, the foolishness. I'm sorry, what did you want to know, young man?
Thank you, Professor.
Mick leaves his card on the desk. Exterior 12th Precinct Station night. The busted clunker pulls into the driveway. Interior 12th Precinct impound shop night. Nick approaches a counter. He goes through coat pockets, finds a ticket, and hands it to the impound officer behind the counter.
Hey, I left my car here the other day.
Impound officer examines the ticket, checks the computer, and shrugs.
It's not in the system.
What?
Exterior 12th Precinct Station night. Busted clunker pulls out of the driveway. Interior busted clunker night. Mick calls Nancy. The phone rings and rings. Mick texts Nancy, meet me at Mordecai's. Exterior 12th Precinct Station night. Busted clunker lurches down the street. Interior busted clunker night. Mick calls Abraham.
What do you got?
Exterior freeway night. Busted clunker shudders along the freeway. Exterior Mordecai's table night. Abraham's car is parked by the entrance. Busted clunker double parks alongside. Mick exits the clunker and enters the restaurant. Interior Mordecai table night. Abraham waits for Mick at the bar with 2 drinks. Mick walks into the bar.
Where's Nancy?
What? I haven't seen her.
Okay. Abraham leans to speak in quietly.
What did you find out today?
Well,
hold on.
Mick pounds his drink and rushes out the door. Exterior Mordecai's table night. Mick gets into the busted clunker and wobbles down the road. Exterior Oppenheimer's lounge night. Busted clunker parks, blocking an ADA accessible ramp. Mick leaves the clunker and enters the bar. Interior Oppenheimer's lounge night. Mick drains his way Through the crowded bar, he dodges dancers, hipsters, spilled beer, and flirtatious women to discover Steve at one end of the bar. Mick waves and Steve gestures over to him.
Steve!
What?
Steve!
Mick, the bastards, they fucking fired me. They let me go. No notice. Who's cutting the grass? That place is falling apart.
I saw Clarence today. Buy you a beer? He said you saw Clara last before her disappearance.
Mick's phone beeps, a text from Abraham. Nancy is at Mid-City Public. Mick's jaw drops, aghast. He stands, throws cash on the bar, and puts his hand on Steve's shoulder to comfort Steve or steady himself.
Sure. I saw her. I picked her up from the crematorium. Minos and Herbert screaming at each other. We came here.
I have to go.
Steve grabs Mick's arm and speaks slowly.
She had a phone call, then got upset and left. That's when she broke it off.
Mick leaves the bar. Exterior Mid-City Public Hospital night. Mick stands up in the Mick runs up the ER driveway. Interior Mid-City ICU triage wing night. Mick stands next to Abraham, observing a bloody operation through double-paned glass.
Brother, I don't think we have a case. Briefcase just disappeared from our lockup.
Well, isn't that more suspicious?
I don't know what else I can do.
Abe,
I don't think I can.
all we have to do.
I can't.
Interior Mid-City Public Hospital Records Archives night. Mick slinks into the archives quietly and unseen. He takes photos and notes, keeping an eye out for witnesses or danger. Interior Mid-City Public Hospital Triage Waiting Room night. Mick watches a television on mute. Photographs of Nancy fill the screen. The Chiron reads, "Officer down. City Hall press conference scheduled for noon." Mick checks the time. Exterior City Hall day. A press conference for Mayor Grisham on the steps of City Hall. Nick observes from a distance. As the mayor speaks, Mick approaches. I don't know who the mayor
A
is.
hero was shot down today. We will update on her health as available, but Nancy Wilson is a hero in life, or if necessary, in death. Our officers know their lives are on the line, and that's why Minos and Sophia Rheingold have pledged to cover whatever costs arise from Officer Wilson's medical coverage.
Mick begins to climb the stairs to City Hall.
In other words, the city won't cover medical costs for its own employees.
And
Meanwhile,
gentlemen,
Mick advances closer to the mayor.
what is your connection to the Rheingold family? Are you aware that Nancy Wilson was shot during the investigation into the Rheingold family? Is it true that your inaugural campaign was established with funds that Magnus Rheingold embezzled from his firm in Europe?
Clooney, take care of him.
Sergeant Clooney moves from out of the crowd and gestures toward him. Several officers move to intercept.
What about Herbert Jefferson? Did Magnus Rheingold die of natural causes? Who killed Bedelia Conwood? Was it your office that arranged Clara O'Donnell's disappearance?
Numerous officers from Clooney's squad tackle Mick to the ground and restrain him. Exterior Clooney's paddy wagon day. Clooney's squad wrestles Mick into the paddy wagon. Interior Clooney's paddy wagon evening. The doors open and Captain Reginald appears. God damn it, Mick. What the hell is going on? Shut up. You're suspended. You know what to do. Mick pulls a beer from his coat pocket and cracks the can open for a sip. He stands, drops his gun and badge on the paddy wagon floor, pushing past Captain Reg to exit the van. Exterior Clooney's paddy wagon evening. Mick steps down from the vehicle. He drains the beer can, crushes and tosses it, then sees Abraham leaning on Abraham's car. Interior Abraham's car, evening. Abraham shares his newly gathered evidence with Mick.
Not that it matters.
But I guess something went down by the Beauregard Law Office.
The Rheingolds hold major shares on the board of Mid-City Public. Minos is the chairman.
How does that help you?
Before Nancy was, I got a text from her, from Officer Wilson, Sophia, Minos, Bedelia, and the mayor. They're all clients of Dr. Leibowitz.
Mick.
And I think Bedelia Conwood escaped.
Mick, it's over. You have to let it go.
They took my car, everything I own. I don't even have any clothes. They're yours.
You can keep them.
I don't want them. I want to put Minos away.
You're barely even a cop right now, Mick. Just slow down.
Are you going to help or not? You know what? Never mind.
Mick gets out of Abraham's car. Exterior, Siegel's suit shop, evening. Mick steps out of the suit shop, impeccably but not overdressed. He walks to the busted clunker, gets in, and drives off.
Okay, I'm back. I'm
Exterior.
sorry. Somebody called on the radio. Exterior abandoned warehouse night. Crime scene has been cleared up. The busted clunker pulls up to this abandoned warehouse. Mick gets out of the car and lights a cigarette. He stares for a long time into the darkness. Exterior freeway night. The busted clunker hurtles along into the night. Interior busted clunker night. Mick dials the phone and takes a breath.
Nancy, do you remember the cherry trees? That bed and breakfast we drove out to? Nancy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Nancy. I'm sorry, Nancy. I'm going to fix this.
Exterior Club Minotaur night. The busted clunker eases into shadow and sits, idling. A dwindling crowd disperses slowly as Mick smokes in the car. Exterior Club Minotaur night. The side door opens and Clarence exits, walking quickly. Mick exits the busted clunker gently and jogs quietly. Clarence stops to listen, and Mick tackles him to the ground. Mick holding Clarence down, striking him in the face, and removing a handgun from Clarence's waistband. Mick puts the handgun to Clarence's head, takes the safety off, and pats him down. Mick tosses a knife into the street, keeping the gun on Clarence's head and pulling the phone out of a pocket. Mick drags Clarence into a ditch and presses voice record on his phone.
I'm really hoping you lie to me.
I'll tell you anything you want to know. It won't be admissible in court. You're not even a police officer, are you?
Mick places his phone in the grass and chambers around.
Oh, Clarence, I'm a cop, all right. I'm just off duty. What did Clara do for you?
Clara O'Donnell. Clara was a skilled dental prosthetist. We employed her as a mortuary beautician. Mick fires the handgun next to Clarence's head. You'll never get a conviction!
I just want to hear you say it.
Magnus used Leibowitz for falsifying dental records. With Rheingold's burial plot and the crematorium, it was easy enough substituting a body in and out. If someone needed to be missed or a body once disappearing, they knew how. I was hardly involved first.
Why kill Beauregard?
Beauregard wasn't supposed to die. It was an accident, like Herbert Jefferson. We wanted the will, something on Grisham.
Ha!
What can I say? Shit happens.
Where's Bedelia Conway?
I haven't a clue. Clara acted on her own. They decided she needed a warning after that.
Who are they?
You know who they are.
Mick punches Clarence, then hesitates.
Who was in that office at Beauregard Law? What were you doing there? What did Nancy know?
Kill me. I can't chat with you about that.
Why did you murder Clara O'Donnell? For what? Why? Tell me why she had to die.
Mick holds the handgun to Clarence's temple and smashes a fist into his face again and again.
It wasn't supposed to happen like this. They sent me to have a word with her to keep her in line. She got scared and tried to fight back. I suppose she did not entirely trust me. But she scratched my eye, and I hit her body in the trunk of a Buick until...
Mick grabs his phone off the ground and stands, gun trained on the bloody form of Clarence. In the ditch, Mick puts the phone away, frisks Clarence, finds the keys to the Bentley.
I'm keeping the car. Reported stolen. We'll see how your confession plays out in the papers. Either way. Last question. Where are the Rhinegold?
Mick presses a button and the Bentley comes to life. In the house? On a plane? Who's to say I even know?
Mick spits Clarence, kicks Clarence in the ribs and walks to the Bentley. He opens the door, climbs in, revs the engine, and peels off into the night. Exterior office, Beauregard Law, dawn. The Bentley is parked squarely in the handicapped space. Interior, Mick's Bentley, dawn. Mick pulls out a wallet and opens it to reveal a photograph of Nancy. Exterior offices of Beauregard Law, day. A distinguished gentleman walks up to the law office, unlocks the front door and enters, then stands still. Interior offices of Beauregard Law, day. Mick barrels through the entrance, moving straight for the office by the stairs at the end of the hall. He slams into the door, bursting into the office. Mick lunges at the distinguished gentleman, pistol whipping him and screaming.
Remember Clara O'Donnell?
Mick slows, then stops, exhausted, and sirens fill the air as we fade out. Exterior offices of Beauregard Law, day. Mick sits in the back of the patrol car, handcuffed and covered in blood. Abraham speaks to a group of uniformed and plainclothes officers, handing his card to each one of them in turn.
Thank you, gentlemen. I think it would go without saying, but we will pay all the damages. Sergeant Clooney truly appreciates your discretion.
Abraham walks over to Mick in the patrol car.
Hey,
You're never going to be a police again. And we had to confiscate that piece. I don't even know where you got it. It's a nice piece.
I was thinking of running for mayor. No, I don't know. I saw an office for lease not too far from here.
An office?
Maybe I'll go private. This town could use a better class of dick.
If I had a nickel.
Well, you might want to start with a dry cleaner.
Abraham unlocks the patrol car, opens the door, and
Abe
uncuffs Mick.
Abe pulls a paper bag off the trunk of the patrol car and hands Mick a sing. The emergency vehicles and personnel have dispersed. Abraham and Mick litter their paper bags and walk separately to their cars.
You could always consider any method of bathing.
Mick presses a button on his keys to wake the Bentley and climbs in. The Bentley pulls off smoothly down the road. Interior, Mick's Bentley, evening. Mick gets a call and answers the phone.
B, when are you going to come visit? I'm starting a business.
Exterior, Mid-City General Hospital, night. The Bentley pulls up across from the hospital. Interior, Mick's Bentley, night. Mick stares from the Bentley at the hospital lights. He pulls a beer from his coat pocket and cracks open the can. Exterior, Mid-City General Hospital, dawn. The Bentley roars to life and pulls off down the road. A beer can flies out the window and bounces off the curb. Exterior, Midtown office building, day. Mick stands by the Bentley, examining the facade of a vacant office, prominently displaying a for lease sign in the window. Interior, Midtown office building, day. Mick shakes hands with a realtor. Interior, Midtown office building, night. Mick sleeps at the desk of his fully furnished office. A nameplate on his desk reads, Mick. Exterior, Midtown office building, night. The Bentley has its own spot outside labeled Mick. A sign on the door reads, Private Dick. Interior, Midtown office building, Dawn. Mick sleeps at his desk. There is a loud banging at the door. Mick wakes up. He walks to a sink, splashes water on his face, and goes to open the door. Exterior, Midtown office building, dawn. An impeccably dressed woman with a lacerated face knocks aggressively at Mick's door. The door opens.
It's my husband. He's missing.